Thank you, Rassie. I have 4 hands up, and they were all of media that asked questions previously. So I'd just like to get an indication whether you have a new question. Mark Gleason.
Yes, sir. I want to just ask about Pollard, who obviously was a concern some time ago with injury, but we haven't really heard much about how he's doing in how he's done in the camp, and since he came, and coming back from Montpellier and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, as fans, we're all worried about him. Is he going to be our star again?
I don't know if he. I can't. I don't know if he must train his way into starting and being in contention. But now Mark is training well, and he hasn't missed a training session since he's joined us. So yeah, things are going. He looks good. Good shape.
Thank you, Jacques. Craig Ray.
Yes, hi. Thanks. Maybe Rassie or Jacques. I'm not sure who. The fact that 2 of the players were in camp with you that are positive, one's from the outside, so we can sort of understand how that could happen. Are you a little bit confused as to how 2 players in the camp tested positive after, I presume you've been going through fairly strict COVID protocols in Bloemfontein and on the way to Joburg?
No, it's like getting the flu, you know. So I mean, I don't think. Like the guy coming from the outside, you know, Vincent's coming from abroad. So how do you explain a guy just flying and then landing and where did he pick up before he came to us, you know? So, and he was tested on that side negative before he got into the plane, you know. I think that's what everybody will always try to find out in all cases. Our local boys, as we said, we were 3 weeks in camp. We're doing 3 tests a week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And then just because we're officially reassembling, you know, we now did a PCR test, which obviously we all know, all the public, you all know what that entails. And that returned 3 positive cases. So how it happens is hell. I mean, the guys who've been, you know, reassembled now, it can be at home, it can be in a plane, it can be, you know, as they open the door. I mean, it can be anywhere. It's definitely not something that happened in camp where the guys did something wrong, you know. So I can't tell you where. I would love to know, and then we can stop it, but I don't know where it happened.
But I mean, I guess, yeah, there's a lot of alarm, but the reality is the bio bubble's doing what it's supposed to do. It picked up cases before you went into the bubble. I mean,
yes.
The cricketers had exactly the same thing against England in December, where 2 guys didn't enter the bubble.
Correct. Yes, and are you agreeing and saying yes that it's doing its job and we're finding out?
Yeah, I am. I agree. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Right?
Yes, and that's why we're not 100%, and that's why we're not sitting here moaning and making plans how we can virtually coach for a day or 2 until we get onto the park. And we know if something like that happens in a British and Irish camp, you know, they will follow the same protocol and things will happen to them maybe, and they will have to go into isolation or whatever the case may be. But you know, we've been fortunate to be vaccinated. We just want to make sure that other people are safe, and whenever we can be back on the field, we're ready for that.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rassie. We probably have time for 2 or 3 questions, and before we come to you, Percy, for Afrikaans, I assume at the end. So we'll go to Adnan Mohammed. Adnan.
Thanks, Ryan. Hi, Rassie and Jacques. Just away from the COVID thing, just on the British and Irish Lions, the game yesterday. Just your thoughts, both of you. Just first Rassie and then Jacques. The game against Japan.
Okay, I'll go first. Thanks. Nice to hear from you. No, Al. Obviously, everybody knows about the injuries and the replacements. I think that will be disruptive. You know, I think the closer it is to a tour or to matches, to a series, the tougher it is to handle. But then again, you're going to have that in the first. We can have that on Friday against Georgia. So Alwyn is a big loss for them. Conor Murray being appointed new captain, you know, we know him well. Obviously, he's a player that can do the job for them. I think Jacques can talk about the game itself, but if you look at that Lions squad, and although they weren't together so much, you know, being together 1 week and not having some guys available in the Premiership final, Japan is a side we struggle to beat. So, you know, I think they've got rhythm quite quickly. But they'll build up, and we'll see how they do against the Lions next weekend. I think it's going to be great test matches and midweek games against them, and the SAA game. I can't wait to see that. No, Jockey.
Yeah, from my side, no, I thought they really hit their straps. Like Rassie said, I thought they hit their straps early on, and I think that probably speaks to Warren being on his third tour. I mean, he's got 4 countries that he has to unite, they have to align, and I thought he did. We thought that was one of the strengths, of Warren being there, having been involved in 4 tours, being head coach in 3. He's probably and successful tours, if I can say, as a head coach. He probably have worked out that formula on how to get people aligned, and I think you could see that clearly on Saturday.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Adnan. Thank you, coaches. And now we go to Motsidisi. Hi there.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon to the coaches as well. Everyone on the call. Sorry, Adnan stole my question. So it's already been answered, but maybe this one to Jacques. What is it about this game that you have drawn out as Springbok coach going into the test? Is there anything that you've picked up that you now have to focus on going into the rest of the series?
No, Mott's probably that they are 4 countries' best players of the best joined together. I mean, that's why they are quality rugby players. The squad that is selected is a well-balanced squad with a lot of quality around the board, and there's still a couple of guys that needs to get into the squad. So we will have to make sure that we do our homework well. And we have to make sure that we are on top of our game when we play them. It's going to be a nice challenge, and like Rassie said, Morts, I think it's one we looking forward to, and it's going to be proper tests, and that's why they call it a test match, because we will be tested on various levels, and we're very much looking forward to it.
Thank you. We'll take one more English question, and then we'll wrap up with Percy with a possible Afrikaans question at the end. And Ben Coles, good afternoon.
Hi both, good afternoon. Just a quick one on Conor Murray and him being appointed tour captain. Why do you think he's a good appointment, and could you see those sort of leadership qualities there when you were at Munster with him?
Is it Jock or myself? Sorry.
Either of you, or both actually, would be great. Thanks.
Jock, you can go first.
Yeah, no, listen. Yes, I enjoyed working with Conor Murray, as he's known. He's a no-nonsense guy in terms of not lots of bells and whistles, and he's to the point, and he just gets the job done, and he's brilliant at what he does. And it was a privilege working with him. And we lost him at the back end of our season the back end of 2017 when we played in our semi-final against Saracens. Not to say that things would have been different, but he's a big loss, and we felt it when he wasn't there. So I think that's probably what Warren and them, I can't talk for them, but what you see in that guy is a steady head. He's got a good skill set. People enjoy him. So yeah, I think he's a great tour captain.
Yeah, no, sure. I don't really have anything to add there, Jacques. Jacques summed it up. It's interesting, the whole thing, there's so many guys that we were involved with or coached, or even, Tyke Byrne that was drafted in late. We actually signed just before we got to Munster, when we got back to South Africa. So it's going to be so interesting, you look at all of those players. I mean, it feels so bad for Alwyn, but I remember he also came back from injury when we started coaching Munster, and the difference that he made in that team there, he will definitely be a loss. But Elmer and all the other guys, I mean, there's a Toje, there's so many other leaders there. So yeah, no, we know we're in for a tough one. I think it's a good appointment.
Thank you, gents. Percy, kom ons sluit af met jou. Let's conclude with you, Percy. Your question.
Ek sê vir jou baie dankie, Rian Adriaanse. Rassie, kan ek jou net vra, en dalk net 'n vraag vir Jacques ook. Rassie, en ek is bekommerd dat hierdie vraag moontlik onregverdig teenoor jou is, want ek dink dis die tipe vraag wat ek vir julle administrateurs van Rugby moet vra, maar ek gaan dit tog probeer tog. Rassie, kan ek jou vra, word julle, ek wil 'n bietjie as devil's advocate speel nou, as 'n opvolg op Kruikreise vraag. Julle as 'n Springbok groep, is julle van vandag af, is julle in 'n harde bioborrel, of word spelers toegelaat om huis toe te gaan mettertyd wanneer Julle was verlede week nog laas in Bloemfontein gewees. Die spelers was natuurlik huis toe gewees en nou kom hulle terug. Is dit nie waar dalk moontlik die infeksies moontlik kom plaasvind nie? En van ek vra die vraag in die lig van julle unies ook byvoorbeeld. Die unies is nie harde beelborrels nie, tensy jy my anders kan bewys. Is daar nie 'n risiko dat van die spelers by unies moontlik ook die virus kan optel nie? Jacques, my vraag is jou net in kortliks Afrikaans. Wat het julle wysig geword gister uit die Britse Lions se wedstryd teen Japan, meneer asseblief, as Springbokke?
Ja, Percy, ek gaan jou vraag so antwoord want ek dink jy's korrek, dit is goeters wat baie tegnies is en wat moeilik is om baie keer te verduidelik. Maar kom maar, die basiese beginsel is, jy weet, Exeter en Harlequins het gister in 'n game gespeel en hulle spelers join die Brits en Ierse Lions toer vanaand op 'n vlug. Jy weet, so omdat spelers op 'n toetsing regime is, 'n toetsingprogram is en 3 keer 'n week getoets word, is dit juist die ding. Jy weet, daar's verskillende toetse wat gedoen word en dan as jy weer as 'n groot squad assemble, dan word jy 'n PCR toets gedoen en dis hoekom ek dink soos ek dink dit was Maak gewees of kry. Iemand het gesê dat die setup of die stelsel baie goed werk. En ek dink die stelsel werk baie goed, jy weet. Ek dink daar's nog wys dat 3 ouens moontlik is. Ek is redelik seker en hoop daar is 'n vals positief hier en daar, maar net soos jy weet, wie kan ons vat? Stuart Hawk gister gespeel het vir Exeter en hy gaan nou in die Brits en Ierse Lions kamp en jy weet, Exeter was definitief nie in 'n hard bubble geweest nie. Maar daar is soveel maatreëls en toetsing wat in plek is juis om seker te maak dat 'n mens nie iets onverantwoordeliks en gevaarliks doen nie. So my antwoord is nee, dis reg oor die wêreld dieselfde en die Brits en Ierse Lions toer het gister begin toe Japan gespeel het teen die Lions. En ja, ons almal is maar onder dieselfde protokolle en dis definitief nie iemand wat iets fout buite die lyn gedoen het.
Percy van my kant af, ja, wat is wys geword het van die Britse en Ierse Lions, is dat mense kan duidelik sien, ek dink een van die groot challenges wat die Britse en Ierse Lions het, is om die 4 lande bymekaar te kry en so gou as moontlik belyn te kry en ek dink dit spreek boekdele van Warren Gatland. Jy kan sien dat hy op 4 Britse en Ierse Lions toere was en dat hy in 3 die hoof afrigter was. So hy het dit baie vinnig reg gekry. Ek het gedink hulle was goed belyn gister in die wedstryd wat hulle gespeel het en ja, al wat dit vir my wys geraak het is dit bewys maar net weer jy speel teen 4 lande se bestes van die bestes. So ons sal moet seker maak dat ons so hard as moontlik werk om so goed as moontlik voorberei te wees want dit gaan presies wees wat die naam sê, dit gaan toetse wees en ons sal maar net seker moet maak dat ons goed voorberei is op alle vlakke.
Baie dankie. Thank you very much. If I can just conclude, Rassie, very quickly said in summary to Percy, you spoke about the testing regimes that's in place for COVID, and then Jacques gave a quick summary mentioning Warren's experience of previous Lions tours that really came to the fore. And you can clearly see there's alignment and looking forward to the test series. That, ladies and gentlemen, then conclude our online press conference. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for your participation. We will be in touch regarding our next media engagement. Be on the lookout for an advisory, and I will also be in touch with you on our Springbok media WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. Be safe and enjoy the day further. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.